Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes. Thank you so much for the last few episodes coming on, all the love, all the messages. It's been such a fun ride with the last few guests. We've had Maddie Perrier speaking on RuneScape. Then we had Studio Mike speaking on boss battles in Super Mario. Then we had the best game show I ever recorded in my life. And of course, afterwards, Juan and Jacob coming on to discuss the soundtrack in Naruto. So we've been really, really lucky with some incredible guests as of late. And for today's episode, I am going to go back in time to a little video game on the Game Boy Advance called Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. Who here remembers this game? Well, it was released in 2004, and it was a sequel to Atari's best-selling Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku 2, and the third and final video game in the Legacy of Goku series. Even though it wasn't the same name, it was still in that series, and it covers episodes 195 all the way to 291 of the Boo saga. So the players start in the Otherworld saga, and we finish in the Peaceful World saga, of course. This video game was phenomenal, with playable characters such as Goku, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, Gotenks, Gogeta. So many cool boss battles. Broly, Majin Buu, Janemba, Super Janemba, Kid Buu, Super Buu, like, to just name a few. And we had so many fun side quests and locations. The game, to me, was perfect. I loved it. It was the second... Well, you know what? Before I tell you it was the second what, let me go and thank the sponsor of JaianMusic Notes, Laser Audio Technologies. They make creative effects plugins, and if you use code JaianMusic, you get 30% off at checkout. Every dollar generated from that code goes straight back into the podcast, such as GoPro Keo. His links are in the description. Today, I'm kind of doing a hybrid episode, a hybrid solo episode, where I'm going to break down some covers I've made from Boo's Fury, but also highlight the incredible game Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. When I go in the trivia section here for this game here on the Dragon Ball Fandom Wiki, I said that it's the second Dragon Ball Z game that uses the Bruce Faulconer soundtrack. It was a game that I really found to be phenomenal. But if you look more deeply at the music in this game, you will see that it was made by one Yanis Brown, an Australian composer, whose roles were the music composition, the game mix, and the sound design, according to Yanis's website. And I'm going to attempt to reach out to Yanis. Maybe getting an interview with Yanis would be incredible. And specifically, what I loved about the music for this game was just how powerful and just fun it was. Like, I think of tracks such as Gohan's Hidden Power. This track did not miss a bout. Such a Game Boy sensation. That sort of acid bass, those bells, those like weird tonalities that are kind of hanging out together. I loved it because it was all sustained but also drumless. And when I decided to cover this track, I kind of went with it at the same approach to make it drumless. My cover was definitely like a halftime thing, and I loved it. I think I did a really cool job with the bells here, because when I heard the bells in the original, I was like, okay, bells transition here. And it's all about this like power that we know Gohan has inside of him. That little motif that repeats, da 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 da. Not trying to be too melodic here, because obviously the copyright system is going to not want that. But it's about bringing that theme over and over again, but with like that ambient vibe, that slowed down, beautiful synthesis that just kind of molds together a boiling anger that's just like right under the boiling point. Like, we just know that Gohan's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I love this theme so much. And around the 1 minute mark in my cover, we kind of hit this like extra bell layer that comes in as a counter melody. And I wanted to use it as a way to just kind of keep the listener wanting more, not expecting what's to come next. And it was one of those covers that once I made it, I was like, this deserves its own episode. I find that this game is so not spoken about enough. And when I found this original track, I knew I could reapply a new world to it, an ambient world that kind of levitates and floats you throughout Gohan's hidden power. And I don't know, let me see here. There's something about these Gohan tracks that I find the music kind of has to relate to this whole power struggle, this like inner conflict of like, I know I'm stronger than what I am right now, and I know I have this untapped potential. For me, when I covered Gohan Angers in Anime Arpeggios Saiyan Symphonies, this was the fourth installation of Anime Arpeggios, this Dragon Ball themed album I made. Gohan Angers was like the seventh, so the second to last track on that album. And I really wanted to do something similar with this Gohan's hidden power for the Dragon Ball Z's Boo's Fury cover I made, where it mirrored the anger, the under the boiling point tension in the track, but still ambient and relaxed with those nice delay and reverb throws that allow you to like feel immersed in this like bubble that makes you feel like you're walking through the game. I loved making this cover and just rediscovering the soundtrack here. And of course, I have to talk about another cover I made. This one was also from Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury. And it was an important cover for me to make because I found it to, how can I explain this? When I was listening to it, I just found, how can I say this? I wanted to have like that synth bass that was kind of just hanging out, holding the low end together, and that keyboard, that keyscape keyboard, just like playing that motif over and over and over and over again with those pads hanging in the back to like really shape this ambient musical structure that would just slightly progress. Once again, drumless. I really wanted to have some type of levitation that just kind of like sustains itself, like from note to note, chord to chord, sequence to sequence. And what I found melodically about this track, if you listen to the District 439 track that I'm currently talking about, the cover I made, I found that melodically we're not too far from Gohan Angers. I believe we almost have the exact same melody, maybe at a different octave. This is one of those things where I think that like melodically sometimes Dragon Ball like overlaps itself here and there. So I believe that there's probably some type of melodic inspiration duality between the two. It's one of the first times where my ear picks up on this, where I'm like, oh, melodically this has been done before somewhere. And I understand like the Dragon Ball soundtrack is extremely eclectic, but I do see some similarities melodically in these tracks. I really found that this video game had such a powerful soundtrack, and this Boo's Fury on Game Boy Advance was so nostalgic for me when I picked it up again. I felt like I was reliving the entire Boo's arc. I found this game to have such a good storytelling process, and the music with the localization, like the District 439 I just talked about, like that's music localization. I love that like an area has its theme song. That's lovely. Or Gohan has its theme song. Like, we're tagging the right things musically with these nice musical structures, and I'm really aiming to recreate these in an ambient fashion. So for me, 2026 it's all about like redefining that sound that JaianMusic has, that halftime ambient relaxed version of anime tracks that you love. So if you have not yet, please go check out those songs. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for listening to all these episodes. This one today is a solo one where I'm kind of like trying not to just do the music breakdown. I do want to comment that like I am not going to just do solo cover episodes as much anymore. I'm always going to try to bring in like also the history or like the context of the video game or media attached to the cover, giving you more for your listen, more for your ears, because I know that like not every single video game or sound track that I talk about is going to be one that you know about. So contextualizing it is super important for me. Yeah, let's see if I can reach out to Yanis Brown, maybe get like an interview going. That would be really cool. There is a contact section on the website here. So this is me in real time looking at this website. I would love to get interview there. Who knows? We've done Lucas Rossi, Mason Lieberman, Raj Ramaya. Like the world is full of possibilities. So I'm extremely excited to see where that conversation can go. A reminder to everyone that they can subscribe to JaianMusic Notes in their favorite podcatcher. Leave us a 5-star review. Thank you for making us charts in countries worldwide. It's so appreciated. And of course, the podcast is sponsored by Laser Audio Technology. So please use a code JaianMusic for 30% off at checkout. And follow me on social media at JaianMusic everywhere. JaianMusic.com is my website. And of course, a big thank you to the artists of the podcast. Go Prokio. His links are in the description as well. So that will be it for today. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night. Bye.